Why, hello there, basement dwellers and LARPers alike. Shams Nelson here from Pen and Blade, and this week's intro was submitted to us by Scholarly Mage with the side note not meant to be offensive. So, thank you for that. And this episode of the what is this series called? The vlog for something rather. Vlog for the development of my Udemy course is brought to you by GeckoTube, the one and only. And he mentioned that he has issues with his smiles and his eyes. So I did mouths a little bit in the last one. So I'm going to add the mouth and the smile at the end as a bonus tip. But I'm going to focus on eyes in this. And I think what I'm starting to discover about getting feedback from you guys about this Udemy course, and this is what I still definitely want more feedback and ideas, and like, what do you want to see in a course? Like, what would be the perfect course for drawing fantasy faces? What would it definitely have? You know what I'm saying? That's what I really want to know. So I'm gonna do a pretty average kind of face, and but we're gonna focus on the eyes. And I think what you guys want is more tips focusing on one part of the body. So one thing you might want to keep in mind is that the eyes, okay, so here's a face from 3/4, right? And the eyes are kind of doing something like this with the nose in front of it. All right. This will show the 3D. So this part right here, you see it's coming out a little bit, all right? And then this part right here, it's where it goes in, and then it comes out again for the chin. So the eyes, this is more further forward and this is further back, and then you've got an eyeball in it kind of like that. You see how the eyeball is inside there? So when you see it from this view, you don't really see as much. You just kind of see the eyeball and you put it in there. But you want to keep in mind that it's kind of leaning back, so this is a little bit closer towards you. And it's probably a little smaller than the eye socket, so maybe I should have done that. Anyways, and this is a little farther away. Alright, so this is like a super basic eye. But let's break the eye down more. So this is putting it in the head, which I've talked about more. And so if you have a strange eye socket, let's say like that, you still can place your eye right in there with the eyeball. You put the upper eyelid first, I would say, is the easier way. And then if you want to hint at the lower, sometimes you don't even need the lower one. And then you put the eyebrow on top. And shade in the area that's still eye socket but doesn't have eyeball, because that's more sunken. See how that works right there? Cool. So let's talk about the eye a little bit. Get the upper and the lower eyelid, and then the stuff around the eye. That's the easiest way to break it down, I think. So let's make a new thing. So you got your eyeball, and I like to put the iris in first with a little thing, make it a crescent moon shape, so you have a little bit of light there, and leave that lighted, and you can shade that in. All right. I don't know if that's a good size. It's probably a little small. It looks very small, actually. But whatever. You know what? It's fantastic anatomy, so let's leave it small. You know what? Let's leave it small. Proportions don't matter. You're going to have the upper eyelid, and I think you can break that down probably best into 3 lines. 1, 2, 3. Now you can branch out and do 4 if you decide to, or you could do 2. But I think 3 is the basic one you want to work with. So you're going to decide the first one. Do you want it straight or slanted down or slanted up? Let's have it slanted down a little bit, like that, and like that. Alright, so there I made my 3 lines. And then I'm going to have this part coming under. If you want, if you get close enough, you can show that under lid. And then do you want to include that part right there? You can or you can't. It's your choice. Now technically, see, I just completely ignored my thing because I made the iris way too small. But I should technically go all the way to the edge there. This little thing is outside of that circle. Maybe it's right here, actually. And it will work with the inner one. It looks more... See what I'm saying? And then this part wraps around it. And now I got this really weird small iris. And then we could put the eye socket around, which I like to use basically that shape. But you round it out. And you figure out, you know, how you want it to be. Put the eyeball in there. Fits nicely in there. See what I'm saying? You can put that in afterwards once you get the hang of it. And then that's it. You got your eye right there. Okay. Cool. So then also you might notice there's a little shadow. There'll be a shadow right under the upper lid if you want to get detailed. There's a shadow on the bottom. Down here you might have this part. It's puffy, but if you're, if the skin is healthy and young, there won't be a bag, but if not, there'll be a bag kind of right there maybe. Or if you're lacking sleep for some reason. Here you can think of the different planes, so you could have it if you want to shade in the parts that are further away. You might want to also put one lid fold close, like that. And this part's all shaded. Once you get to this part, that's below the, it's like back in the skull area, so you don't need to consider it as part of the form. And that's it. You pretty much got your eyeball. Alright, so I think that's going to be it. Just to recap, we got 3 sections and then the bottom. Alright, you can put a crescent moon shape to give a little shine. Shading the rest like that. You got the one right above, the close one. And one important tip to keep in mind is try to keep things symmetrical. So see how I brought 2 lines like that? That's going to help me make sure that the top and the bottom are in the same spot. See? And help keep that symmetry. Alright. Then you've got the eye is going, that's the eyeball going back into this area. You're going to have an eyebrow above, but down here this is going to be shaded. And that'll probably also be shaded, but there might be a little crease there. Remember where your eye socket is, something like that. If you want to add a bag under the eye, you can. Alright, usually there'll be a little like kind of bulbous thing here, so there'll be less shading right there in this area if you want to get a little more detail. And I think that's it. So let me know if you thought that this overview, see in the Udemy course I'd probably go a little slower but convey the same basic information. But let me know, do you think the pace was good? Should it have been a little slower ideally, or should it have been faster even? And let me give you the bonus tip for the smiling mouth, alright? So, we've got our head. Let's make this one a little wider, whatever. We got our eyeballs. Okay, see even here I'm trying to line these up a little bit, kind of keep it symmetrical. Alright, we got a nose. What if we do a smaller nose just to make it interesting? Like that, alright? And then, so a smile. So what I like to do is choose 2 points. If you want a crazy smile, you could choose the points up there. And then, and then we have the chin, alright? 2 points in the chin. You're going to connect it with a triangle like that, and then you put it in the mouth, right there. And then just maybe a little bit of the underlip right there, alright? You see what I'm saying? Next, if you wanted to do, let's do a tall face this time. And I'm going to do the same thing, but just a little less exaggerated. And then I'm also going to open up the teeth. So you could put in the teeth like this. So you already know where they are before you start. Choose your 2 points, either right here and here, so it's not like way up there. And then, and then the chin down here. Okay, we got something like that, right? Now we're gonna bring this connected up here. And we want to keep the mouth open, so let's see how much we want it to go down. Let's have a kind of creepy smile down there. You see how that's gonna play out? And put the little thing underneath. You draw in the teeth a little bit. And that is really creepy. Alright. And let's see, is there anything else we can do with the smile? I think that's basically it. Different variations on that. So if you wanted to have the mouth open, and I talked about this in another one a little bit, in another video, the one about drawing expressive mouths, and you could do something like that. Coming down here, and you see some of the mouth in there. Alright, so I hope that was helpful. Let me know in the comments what you want me to do a video on next, and also how this video went, how helpful it was, what parts could have been expounded upon more. Did I miss anything? I didn't talk about different expressions, like if the eyes are closed. You know what I'm saying? Or if the eyes are wide open. So I guess would that be something, you know, is that important too? Let me know in the comments, and that's it. Peace, God bless, and stay fantastic, everyone.